Okay. Hey everybody, it's your girl Charlotte Van Horn, Sisters Talking Natural Hair and Business, Locks Forever, and coming at you today from Black Expats in Panama Facebook group, because I am every woman. Hello. And I'm just doing a series of interviews with Black expats in Panama. And today we have the amazing Damani and Ife Keene. And I just want to let you guys introduce yourself, and then we're going to talk about your journey to Panama and where you live and just some fun stuff. So go ahead, take it away. Tell us all about yourself.
Hey everybody. I'm Ife, born in Knoxville, Tennessee. Parents moved to Brevard, North Carolina for about 6 years, and I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. Yay, Camden.
Jersey girl, Jersey girl, Jersey in the house.
I graduated from high school in Jersey. Then I was off to Washington, D.C. to Howard University, where I met Damani our second day of our freshman year.
Wow.
That was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm Damani, born in New York. First lived in Harlem as a kid, Brooklyn too, but I was too young to remember that. Then we moved out to St. Albans. St. Albans in the house.
Yes. My husband has family in St. Albans.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, tell him he used to live on Ilion Avenue.
Okay.
So as Ife said, we both went to Howard. It was funny because her parents, directed her and instructed her and required her basically to go to Howard. My parents, especially my dad, used a covert operation to convince me I wanted to go to Howard because I had my eye on the place. It's either a wonderful coincidence or it's fate at work.
Yes.
Wow. But y'all met on the second day of your freshman year, and you're still together.
Yes.
Very much.
Wow.
Together.
So y'all actually, didn't y'all work at Howard as well?
Yes, I did.
I did.
Ife worked in information systems, was an executive and a vice president and the founder of a company and all that.
Okay.
But I did. I worked out for 32 years.
So now you live in Panama.
Yes.
Yes, we lived here. It will be 16 years next month.
16 years. Okay, so now tell us the name of the town or place that you live in Panama.
Okay, we're for those who are not really familiar with Panama, Panama is made of provinces, and we're in the actually newly created province called Panama West.
Okay.
And so we're next to Panama City. That province includes the Pacific beach areas like Gorgona and Coronado, Punta Chame, San Carlos, and so on. But we're off the main highway about 17 kilometers, which is what, about 11, 12 miles in the highlands of a district within that province called Chame, and our little town is called Sora. S-O-R-A with an accent on the name, Sora.
Okay, so where you live, you said Chame?
Chame, district of Chame.
Okay, the district of Chame. You know, when I met you guys at John and Aisha's, I just had the impression that you lived way far away, but you don't.
No, we were about maybe 40 minutes from them at the most.
Yeah. We're between them and Panama.
Okay, so when you first came to Panama 16 years ago, is that the place that you chose from Jump Street?
Yes.
Yes.
How did you choose that place?
I just realized something. The second day must be a charm for us. we came. Should we tell you the whole story?
Please do. Please do.
Look, in 2013, we took a trip to South Africa. We fell in love with South Africa. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of that, but honestly, we were ready to go.
That trip changed our lives.
That changed
Wow.
our
It
lives.
really did.
Really did. And we looked at houses there. We weren't interested then in moving or buying or anything like that, but I saw houses for sale for $160,000 that were right on the water, 4 bedrooms. I mean, the whole deal. Anyway, we came back. We told our kids. We said, "Hey, look, y'all. We're thinking about. We think about.
Yeah.
We think about moving to South Africa." So our oldest son, he looks at us. He says, "See you when you get back." So that kind of was a wake-up call. We realized
Reality check.
we had already figured our budget. We figured we could come back to the States twice a year, but we really hadn't thought about the fact that it was going to be hard for our kids with young families and in their careers to get away, visit us,
A 23-hour flight.
one way.
Yes.
So we kind of, maybe that's not such a great idea. So around that time, Ife's sister Brenda, the Jersey girl.
Yes.
She's
She's still there.
She's still in Jersey, although she has a spot here with us. She sent us an email, and I'm not going to go through all that. It's a great little story, but it was about Panama. And we both went, Panama, and it told all the benefits. And, you've been here, so great with springtime weather year-round, especially where we are up here in the highlands. It's springtime weather year-round, lower cost of living, good health care, discounts on everything. You're a senior citizen, we just on and on.
And a much slower pace of life.
The key.
Yes. A lot of tranquility.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I was just I just interviewed Jonathan, and I was just telling Jonathan that I sleep so good when I'm in Panama.
Oh, man.
I get the rest that I don't get here.
Right.
Yeah. And we have what my parents used to, I think other older folks used to call good sleeping weather.
Okay.
Not too hot, not too cold. So second day, right? So we booked a real estate, a guy called it a real estate and cultural tour.
Okay.
Sight unseen. The guy showed us around, met us in Panama City, showed us some condos in Panama City. They're very nice. Yes. Very nice.
And tell us again what year this was.
That was
2003.
No,
December.
Because
I think you said 2013 before, but it must have been 2000.
Yeah, we did. That's in the
yes.
States. Right.
Okay.
Right. It was December. Yes, December of 2003. Yeah, we misspoke. I misspoke. So
that was before Panama was all the rage.
It was.
It really was.
Yes.
People kept calling us pioneers. We didn't understand what they were saying, but now we realize, we were. So the second day, Charlotte, he brought us up here, and we pulled in the driveway. I was sold. I hadn't seen the house, hadn't seen the ocean view from the rear.
Yeah, just the grounds.
I mean, this
were beautiful.
If I use the word tranquility in Spanish, they say tranquillo. Tranquillo, just for quiet and this was just it. And then we came in the house. The house was nice. Went out to the back of the rear veranda. The Pacific Ocean is out there with a mountain and some islands offshore, and greenery all around.
Fruit trees
and all the rest of that. So if you give us screen share, we can share some pictures.
I think that I have. Can you try it? Because I'm challenged with this. Do you have access?
Let me look real quick. You have to give us screen share. If you go to the bottom, participants.
Okay.
click on our name or click on participants and then click on us on the right side and say, make us co-host.
Okay. Let's see, more, make co-host. Okay. Yes, I want to make you co-host. Yay! Can you see it now?
It's a lot of fun. So,
Can you see it?
can you see it?
I
Can you see the house?
Yes! I'm so proud. Thank you. This is your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the rear of the house, and it actually shows an addition that we put on the rear, but
The addition that you put on is that the patio part on the bottom?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Which also extended the patio.
Yeah, this part right here, you can see the
That's
mouse.
an aerial view.
Yeah, this is the addition that we made. We have a downstairs unit. It's a separate downstairs unit, very nice, that we expanded, and that is Ife's sister Brenda's casita, as she calls it.
I love
She
it.
can come visit. Yeah.
I love
So,
it.
Yeah. So this is the environment that we found. You know, when we came here, just a beautiful, quiet place. We have neighbors. Doesn't look like it, but we do have some neighbors.
I see
and
some
they're
houses
great.
in the back, and then so you can see the mountains and you can see an ocean view?
Yes.
Yes. From our front door, we see a mountain called Picacho, which is, to me, a very interesting topographical feature of Panama. It's a three-peak mountain, and then from the rear, I didn't think to put a picture of our view of the ocean, but we have a neighbor behind us, and then we have the ocean view. So this is our daily life right here.
That's
you see the hammock?
beautiful. Yes.
Hammock truck.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Wow.
So that's how we ended up here. We had a tough decision to make between a house that we really liked at the beach and this one, and
we're so happy we chose
we
this one.
really are.
Okay, so if you want to actually go to the beach, how long does it
Yeah.
take you to go from your house?
We're about 35. Well, I'll say 40 minutes to
Gorgona.
the Gorgona Beach.
Right.
To Gorgona. To Gorgona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Maybe a little less.
and say what?
Maybe a little less.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about Gorgona. Do you go there often?
Not really. We have friends who live there. They're Panamanians, you know, and one of the great things we like about Panama is that there are a lot of, it's a very, very diverse population, and included in that are a lot of Afro-Panamanians. And that's a long history. I don't know if you want to get into that, but the ones that we know are descendants of the men and women who came to work on the Panama Canal. They came from most of them came from the West Indies, the Caribbean, Barbados, and other places. But some came from the States, and a few of them stayed too. So their descendants, many of them still speak English, not all though.
A lot of them were raised in the canal zone.
Yeah, in the canal zone, some were, a lot. And some left Panama and went to the States and lived for decades, had families, careers, and all the rest, and then came back to retire.
And then came back. That would be Alfredo. Alfredo's parents came from Jamaica and Barbados, and his parents came and worked on the canal. And then his parents actually worked in the canal as professionals after the next generation after the canal was built. Alfredo, out of 8 siblings, he is the only one that came to the United States. And he came to the United States in he's been here for about 40 plus years, and he went into the Air Force, but then we came back too. So he is also a returning Panamanian, and it's amazing. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because when I brought a group of people to Panama in January of 2020, it's 40 women. We brought to Panama, and a lot of people just have no idea of the West Indian and Afro culture that Panama offers, you know. And so it was awesome, because we went to CEMAC, the West Indian Museum, and some of the women that were there, they became very emotional, because they never even realized that their grandparents and great-grandparents had West Indian backgrounds. And when they saw, and when they saw the museum has these great rooms set up, like how the typical West Indian house looked, and some of them was like, my grandmom's house, you know, looked like this. They started putting it together, not even realize that they were Jamaican descendants, and you know, from other West Indian places. And it was very powerful. So I like that. Now in Chame, where you live, is it as a diversity of people? And let me just say this, Jonathan made a very good point. He said, with regard to Coronado, he said, when it comes to diversity, meaning are there like a lot of Black people there, the answer would be no. But when it came to diversity in individuals, period, he said yes. There were people from Australia, you know, Canada, you know, in all different parts of the world. So tell us about your area.
Yeah, well, our answer would be pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. And we live in a very small community called Sorapina. There are only about 16 lots in our little development. And of those 16 lots, there are only about 10 houses. Right. 10 houses. And we have Panamanians who own most of them and who own them as weekend homes. Okay. So they come up the weekend. There are what, 3 or 4 that are permanent?
Yeah, in addition to that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 4 permanent folks who are here, you know, like us most of the time. And of those, 2 of them are Afro-Panamanians and 1 is an African American. Okay. And the others, and we really have great neighbors, just good folks. One's an attorney, 2 are retired bankers. 1 couple, both of them are retired IBMers. The guy who built the house next to us, he doesn't live here, but we're hoping he'll be able to come soon. He's a retired businessman he's from
Maryland.
He's from Maryland.
Maryland, okay.
Right. We came here from Maryland.
Yeah,
you know,
we did.
Right. And John and Aisha came from Maryland. So
yeah. They came to Virgin Islands too.
Do you live in a gated community?
No, we really didn't want to.
Yeah. Okay.
Gated community is okay. It depends on, you know, what your taste is. That's not what we were looking for, but there is a large gated community next to us with thousands upon thousands of lots, and hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, you probably heard of Altos del Maria.
Altos del Maria.
Okay, that's the big deal near us.
It is.
That's the big deal.
Altos del Maria.
Maria.
It's a girl. Look, it's a girl.
Yeah.
It's named after the Maria River, and Altos del Maria, basically the heights of Maria.
So what is your weather like compared to like Panama City?
It's perfect.
We have perfect weather, Charlotte.
Perfect weather year
I
round.
mean, what can we tell you?
It's upper 70s, lower 80s
every day.
Wow.
So
So does it rain as much? Do you get a lot of rain during rainy season?
Yes, we do.
You do.
And I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It keeps everything clean.
Yes.
And I don't know whether if we get more rain or less rain than other places. I really don't have a feel for that. But most of our rain, when people say rainy season, I think people think about monsoon. We don't have that.
Right.
We have a shower in the afternoon. Sometimes it's a heavy rain in the afternoon. It's gone. And I grew up in New York City.
Yeah.
And when we'd have a summer rain, afterwards it would be so humid because the rain was evaporating off the concrete and the asphalt. You don't get that here. When it rains, it cools things down, it clears the air, and it's just gorgeous. So listen, sometimes we used to say, especially when we first came, yeah, we have perfect weather. People say, what do you mean perfect weather? What is that? I said, well, we bought a house.
Right.
With no air conditioning and no heating system. So
that tells you it.
So what is that?
You don't need one. You don't use air in your house?
No.
We did install 3 units.
When we first came.
We
could have saved that money, Charlotte.
We could have.
And that was, it's expensive too. Wow. See, now I'm learning something. I don't know anything about your area. But I do believe that it may be one of the areas that we're going to visit because everybody doesn't know yet. We're going to be releasing it very soon, but we are doing a trip to bring some potential Black expats to Panama. And we're going to focus on the areas closer to the city. We're not going to Boquete and places where we have to fly and all that, but we're going to show them the diversity that is within an hour or two of the city. I always say I'm a suburban chick. I like to I'm from Jersey, but I am from
Jersey.
I'm Jersey. Yes. And matter of fact, I'm from Glassboro. So
I remember.
Yes. So I'm from Glassboro. Glassboro is a very rural town in New Jersey, and I'm glad I didn't raise my daughter there. But I'm not a city girl. I'm that person that wants to have access to the city, don't want to live in the country, but be able to move in between both easily. And so I am what I could call a suburban chick. And I live in Brisa de Golf Norte, which I absolutely love. It's not cool like where you are, but we can walk to like everything. So what is it like for you living there as far as doing your grocery shopping? What are the amenities and conveniences?
Well, we have within walking distance of us in Panama, the terminology, but in Panama, they call them mini supers. So it's a small supermarket. And in Panama, most of them are Chinese owned. That's another aspect people don't know about China. Good sized Chinese population in the business, arena. And we have a large, well-stocked hardware store and building supplies place, still within walking distance. 3 churches, a couple small fondas. Fonda is a small family-owned restaurant. It's basically like in somebody's, like one of them is in their carport, or on their veranda, where you get a home-cooked meal, very inexpensively. And other, some small amenities in the town. There's a health clinic. There's a what do you call it? The mayor's office is there. Up the road a little bit, not walking distance for me. It's mostly uphill. There's a nice little restaurant called Los Senderos, which means the pathways. And so for running to the, you forget something at the store, we can run and we can get it real quick. they're well stocked, prices decent, and so on. For our major shopping, we go down to Coronado.
Coronado. Mhm.
Coronado.
And
Okay.
for people who are not familiar, in Coronado, that's funny. When we first came, we didn't realize that the El Rey supermarket had just opened. We didn't realize when we got here. It had just opened a few months before we got here.
And we were shocked that it was open 24 hours.
And we're night owls. Stop at 1 a.m.
So that worked out well.
It was great. And then over time, Coronado has really developed. So now there's 3 major shopping centers, each one anchored by a major supermarket, Super 99, Machetazo, and the original El Rey, and then lots of smaller stores, around them, pet stores and veterinary clinics, our doctor's offices in Coronado. So that's where we go. Charlotte, when you mentioned distance from the city, when we told our guide that what we were interested in seeing, we told him we had a few criteria.
Yeah, about 4.
We said we wanted to be within an hour and a half of the city.
Okay.
We wanted to have 4 bedrooms, minimum 3, 4, so we could accommodate all the kids if they came at one time.
Yeah, some type of water view.
And
Some type of water view.
we only had 2 grandkids at the time.
Yeah.
So. And we wanted some type of water view. River, lake, ocean, whatever. So when he brought us up here, about an hour and a half from the city, we used to go into the city 2 and 3 times a week.
I can't believe that.
It's hard to believe now, because there wasn't that much out here. So we needed something like we were doing work in the house. We did a lot of improvements in the house because we bought an existing house. We did not build.
Right.
We put a lot of our heart and a lot of our wallet into our house to make it,
the way
like
you wanted it.
to be. And one of the things we did, let me show you if I can show you. We put in wood ceilings throughout.
I see that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the whole in and outside.
In and outside.
Okay.
So the veranda has. And so that was, it was a lot of work, and so everything that we had to get, not the wood, but a lot of stuff that we had to go in the city for. And our appliances and all the rest of that stuff. Now everything is out here.
So the area has grown. The area has grown with you. So
we even have movie theaters.
You even have what?
Yeah, it's even
movie theater in just before Coronado.
Yes, even grown up here. When we moved up here, there were the little mini markets. There was nothing up here.
Wow.
So we've seen a lot of growth up here as well.
Well, and in Coronado. And in Coronado, because we used to go, we had a family member that had a house out in Coronado. And we used to go there, and the only thing that was out there back then, and that was probably about, first time I went there was probably about 2004. And they didn't have all the stuff that they have now. I mean, pretty much they had the supermarkets, and that was it. But when we went out to visit John and Aisha, it was when we hadn't been there in a while. And so it was kind of surprising to see how well it's developed. Let me ask you briefly, you said that your doctor is in Coronado?
Yes.
How have you found medical treatments in, medical services in Panama?
The little that we've had to have, we found, yes, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
It has really been great.
Really great. Yeah.
It's really been great.
Yeah.
But we've been very fortunate not to have to use that service very often.
And it's very inexpensive.
Yes.
Let me share 2 stories. Now these go back some years, so don't I don't want anybody to get locked in on the price. But we went to a birthday party for some folks, and I got a fishbone caught in my throat.
Yeah.
That I've had kidney stones, and I'm gonna tell you that fishbone was painful. I mean, painful. And we tried everything, eat the bread, all the stuff. So finally, they took me to the hospital. Go to the hospital, see the doctor, get the X-ray, go back see the doctor. He told me it had gone down. Didn't feel like it, but he gave me a spray and something else. And the bill for the hospital visit was $21, including the X-ray. $21. So one time Ife went to an ophthalmologist in Panama City. And I'm in there, thinking about insurance and whatnot. How are we going to get these forms done? And the doctor says, oh, just use the phone. Call your insurance company. International call,
Yeah.
Just call. So before I can do all that, she's finished. Comes out
with the bill.
With the bill,
it was $35.
$35.
And we saying what?
Our deductible was $25.
It'll cost us more to make the international call.
Yeah.
Right.
Back then. Wow.
So it's been, and then now we got a regular doctor to go to, and out here, and he's a younger guy. Speaks English. He's very good bedside manner. He's been very attentive to us, and it's been great.
Yeah,
and it's not been expensive whatsoever.
I'm gonna try to share a picture of y'all. Let me know if you see it.
Okay.
All right.
No.
Not yet.
No. Do y'all have the picture? I am terrible at this.
It's a two-step process. When you click share screen at the bottom.
Yes,
I
click share screen. Huh?
Okay, then you have to select the screen that is giving you all the tabs that are open on your. Select the one you want. And then at the bottom right.
You see it?
There you go. Not yet, but it might be coming. Hold on a second.
It says you are sharing the screen. You see it?
I know those guys.
Okay. Now, what I wanted to see was us and you. Can you still see it?
Oh. Yes.
Yes. It's still there.
You don't see my desktop?
No, all we see are the 3 pictures of us.
Okay, well, that's beautiful. That's what I wanted people to see. I wanted people to see these beautiful pictures of you chilling at home, enjoying Altos del Maria, and what does that other one say? A day at the beach.
There you go.
I love these. Okay, so I'm going to stop share. I love this right here. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop share. Now we
all right.
Hallelujah. Oh my God, I've been messing this up. Okay, so I'm going to ask you 2 more questions, and then we're going to make them brief, because then I want to ask you about your book. So first of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is your Spanish? ¿Habla español?
My Spanish is 3 to 4.
Okay.
Which is not good.
Yeah,
but the reason being that when we arrived, and if I had to do all over again, I would want to be immersed with a family or something.
True.
Everyone spoke English.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the opportunity to really get into the Spanish like we should have. It's shamefully.
Yeah.
And that's when you don't need it. I mean, even if you were to take classes, even if you had classes and didn't have nobody to talk to.
We did.
Right.
We took classes.
Yeah.
Wow.
We did make an effort.
Yes.
But like Ife said, we didn't have to use it, and so we didn't. And you just have to pick it up too, as you go along. We just didn't have to do it, and there were enough. You know, we struggled at times, you know,
Yeah.
especially in the early years. I never forget trying to get some cabinets made and trying to explain dimensions not to the person. And when I came out of there, we were in there like 2 hours, you know. It would have taken normally 15 minutes, you know.
Right.
And I was exhausted.
But now you have Google Translate.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now you have Google Translate, and the internet access in Panama is a lot better, you know. So if you are being challenged with it, at least you're just not exasperated, not being able to communicate at all. I have a different experience. I do not judge, okay, because I got a built-in translator. You
Right,
know,
right.
and I would say, Al, one time we were in the store, and sometimes the Panamanian women, they can be kind of flat, you know, and they have this certain way about them, you know. And so he was trying to handle something, and he said, so he da 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 da, and she said da da, and then she said da 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 da, you know, in my head. I said, what she say?
Okay, Jersey girl, I hear you.
And he said, Cheyenne, please, she's trying to help us. I'm like, oh, okay. So I have been, and so he tries to make me do more, but I'm really shy about it. I work hard on it, and when people act like, girl, I have no idea what you're trying to say to me, it just kind of makes me withdraw. And I say, Al, can you please handle this? So my situation is a little different because I have him to fall back on. And I've even tried to avoid, you know, going to stores by myself and everything like that, because sometimes it's intimidating. It's intimidating.
I know.
And so I want to do better. I want to do better with that. But the last thing, go ahead.
For your audience, I would say to them, those are natural feelings. I mean, that's how, you know, I always feel like I'm dumb. You know, I'm dumb because it's something simple, but I can't say it or I can't understand it, you know. So I would say to people who are thinking about coming, don't let that be a barrier to you.
Yeah.
Do what you know, like before we came, we hired a tutor, and we had about 10 hours of instruction over about 3 weeks or so, something like that. She was very good. And one of the things she said to us, which I want to pass on to everybody, communication will occur.
Communication, you'll get through it.
So whether it's hand signals, pantomime, pointing at stuff, you know, having
Panamanians give directions.
Yeah. You have something in your
Very
hand,
animated.
you know. So I would say to people, don't let that be a barrier. Come on, you know.
Yes.
And you'll learn enough to get by, and then if you really work at it, you'll learn enough to really be able to have a conversation, you know. But right now, you know, como está? You know?
Yes, muy bien, Chef.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. This is
Baby.
the book. Now, tell me again, how long did it take y'all to write this book?
Woo, 5 years of writing, but more years before that of research, and it took a long time.
So what I figured out, and I really enjoyed y'all's Zoom call, launching it. I'm so proud of you guys. You're on Amazon now, and actually you ranked way high on your sales. So go. But and I want you to tell us a little bit about this book. I love how big it is. It's like scholastic. Academic book, baby. And but what I was thinking is that, wow, since you guys have been in Panama, is when you did most of the work on this book.
All of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
What a great product of your retirement.
Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. So tell us about the book.
Let me say this first. Ife is a twice published author before this. She
Okay.
published a book before we left the States to come to Panama. And then she wrote another book while we were here. I had no intention of writing a book, you know? But I was very curious about my father's family, especially because this goes back to our earlier conversation. My dad is born in Kingston, Jamaica. After the canal was completed, he and his sister came to Panama, and they lived in Colon, which is up on the Caribbean coast.
Yes.
And he lived here for not sure exactly how long, several years before he went to the States. And then, you know, many, four decades after that, I was born. But he had a sister here, and she had, you know, I'm not sure, I think like a dozen children. So I have all these cousins. Alfredo might be my cousin, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So you have to ask Alfredo, does he have relatives in Cologne? But anyway.
He
So,
does.
Does,
Your
see?
people was from Jamaica? Or they're from Jamaica? Okay, his mother's family is from Jamaica. His father's family is from Barbados. So
yeah, so I started looking, got other, you know, Afro-Panamanians helped me out, but nothing, I found nothing. So I said, well, let me, you know, see what I can find about my mom's side. I knew some things already, you know, so I started digging, and I dug and dug. This is off and on now. I didn't make wasn't making a career out of it, but off and on over years. And Charlotte, the thing that was so striking to me is it was, and this is where the 2013 came up before. November 6th, 2013, which was 3 days before what would have been my mom's 100th birthday. I kind of threw my hands up and I Googled my great grandmother's name. And thank goodness it wasn't Jones or, you know, Johnson,
right.
You know. And it was Mariah Reddick. And Charlotte, it was like the doors of the Library of Congress opened up.
Wow.
Picture of her, picture of my great grandmother. Never seen before. That's been on the cover of the book.
Yes.
We knew about him, knew stories about him. You know, we heard he killed a man over his wife.
My great granddaddy did the same thing.
Oh.
That must have been how you handled them back then.
So, you know, but it opened up and it was just amazing. And that's the night when I discovered that my great grandma Mariah had been given as a wedding gift when she was 10 years old.
Wow.
And you know, I'm a history buff. I'm a history buff, so you can't really shock me with anything about slavery in the U.S. I know about that, but when it comes that close to home, it really hits. So listen, so I can't tell you the whole story; it takes too long. But
that's why you got the book.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So we included some of this in the book, how we came to write it. And it's also on our website, which is clandestine-life.com, clandestine-life.com, where we tell a little bit about going to Franklin, Tennessee, where Mariah lives, going to the cemetery, Toussaint Louverture Cemetery, in Franklin, Tennessee. I mean, that was deep in itself.
Wow.
And we just got inspired, and I asked my sweetheart, my wife, my twice published author, if she would help me write the book.
She can help you out. Look, can you hook a brother up?
Yeah. So we worked together, and it was a great experience. It was a labor of love, and I'll tell you the other thing. Charlotte, we felt the presence of the ancestors with us along the way. We really did. And we felt guided sometimes. And writers will tell you that the characters when you're writing fiction.
You become.
The characters will take over the story. They just tell you what's going on.
Wow.
And that more than one time. So so anyway, we're glad that you got yours. And
Yes,
you like
we
it.
are.
You can't wait to hear what you have to say about it.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and I'm very proud to know you. And I think that the Zoom call that you did to celebrate your birthday and to also tell everybody, you know, what was going on with the book really connected me to it. I was very impressed and moved by your children's involvement in the story and how you were able, that was so powerful, how you were able to take them back and they were able to see and feel. And what is so amazing is that, you know, one day they're going to be telling stories about y'all. I'm so, you know what I'm saying? They'll be telling stories about you. But they will have, but you have told this story about your ancestors, and it will just be able to keep going and going and going, and that is what's up. And I think that for them to be so invested in it, that's what touched my heart the absolute most. And then your uncle.
My cousin.
Was
my cousin.
Oh
Yeah.
man, he could have just took the whole show over, baby, because I mean to tell you, his mind is sharp. His mind is sharp. And one of these days, as he was speaking though, and everybody had a lot of patience because he had a lot to say. But as he was speaking, I said to myself, they have that recorded. His recollection was so rich and so unique to himself that that's part of their story as they take this story and go forward and talk about y'all. And so I was just absolutely moved, and I'm really happy to have had the time to talk to y'all. I'm going to make sure that I put the links to Clandestine when I share this, and I'll be sharing it on the Black Expats in Panama page and Facebook. It'll be on my YouTube page. And I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out to speak with me today. And I hope to see y'all soon.
Yeah, come on back.
I'm trying. They ain't trying to fool with me in Panama. But I think that I probably won't get back till January. And then hopefully things will be moving back towards, you know, the norm. Then, but so I will definitely see y'all soon. Thank you for spending time with me, and y'all have a blessed and magnificent day.
All right, and thank you so for much. What you do, and thank you for all of your support.
Absolutely. Tell Alfredo check our DNA.
Oh yes, absolutely. What now? What's your people's last name again?
Keene.
Keene. Okay, Keene. So it was the Keenes. Got you.
Right.
His mother's family was from, I want to say Kingston. Might have been Kingston. Jamaica. And I don't know what part his father's people was from Barbados, but all right, I'm gonna let y'all go. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.